60 days. Everything is net 60. I'm like, what do you mean? How does it work in China? And it's like day one, but you get it all paid out in UA credits.
Yes. Oh, so yeah. So if there is an interesting trending and game on the WeChat mini games, and WeChat kind of sees this, then it can support this game with 400k UA budget instantly.
This is a no bullshit gaming show where we talk about games and their revenue in great detail, powered by our ad monetization, game design, and user acquisition triple threat expertise. Welcome to the 2.5 Gamers, the unfiltered truth served with a side of giggles. Let's not forget this is a 4 a.m. conference discussion vibe, so let's not take it too seriously. Tune in now and stay 2.5 steps ahead of the gaming industry.
Now you can sing Welcome to the Jungle.
It's not Welcome to the Jungle, it's something else. And then he says randomly at some point, he's like, Hippo.
Well, not Welcome to the Jungle, but welcome to 2.5 Gamers latest episode. We are going to talk about China. Oh, because we just came back from ChinaJoy. My name is Matej, Lancaric.
I'm Felix Braberg.
And I'm Jakub Remia.
And we are your hosts. So, okay. So, we just came back from China, actually yesterday. It was a very interesting few days because it was in and out. Wednesday morning in, Saturday morning out. But we learned so much many different things and absolutely amazing insights. So first of all, kudos to Heaven from Century Games for hosting us and for the amazing time we had there. Also, David and Colin, thanks for the day too and all the information. And we met so many new people, amazing people, and we are definitely gonna go back. So we're gonna talk about the ChinaJoy experience, WeChat mini games, and some insights we got from all the discussions we had. Also, I think I gained by 5 kilos because we were eating basically everything. Didn't eat us.
The food was so great. Very good.
It's amazing.
Some good insights in this episode, I think. But, spoiler alert, China's like a different country.
Oh, wow. No shit.
A different world.
No, but in all seriousness, like, I was not expected to be as blown away as I was. But, yeah, I was pretty blown away.
I mean, I was blown away by the fact that not so many foreigners were there. That was just like an absolute
next to zero, basically.
Yeah, very absolute surprise. And whoever wasn't there this year, guys, you should definitely be there next year. It's absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. From again food, but also the gaming companies and like whatever you can actually find out in China that I think like half of the gaming industry doesn't even know in US or in Europe. So like I think this like China put this saying a little bit further. Like if you're thinking about the game, there is 10 companies already working on
already having it soft launch as a prototype.
Yeah, like or so 10 companies in Europe have like working on it. Like there is 10 companies already having live build at least on WeChat mini games in China. It's like absolutely true. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, the numbers are just bigger than anyone we see because we just don't see those numbers or sensor tower here.
I mean, makes a lot of sense. We were talking about. Oh, by the way, thanks Sensor Tower for having us on at your event. We heard the good feedback, and also thank you very much, Appier, for having me and the guys as well at your event as well. It was amazing. It's a pleasure to meeting you and all the people there. And also, Tom from Sensor Tower said that they're not even trying to estimate all the revenues from all the different stores from Google or Android in China.
Android, sorry, Google's not there.
Yeah. It's just like it's impossible, close to impossible. Also, what is interesting is WeChat has rankings on the IAA, which is in-app ads revenues estimates, which
that
nobody
really
has.
broke my heart because I
Yeah.
don't have a party trick in China. It's just there. They have
Yeah.
a ranking for IAP like sales, and they have a ranking for ad sales. So it's like it's just
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's like three charts there because one is based on like engagement or daily active users, if I got that right, or downloads.
Yeah.
I don't remember which was it. Then the grossing IP revenue, and then basically grossing ad revenue.
Yeah.
Since we're talking numbers a bit, like we pulled it up before the show. Maybe Remia, you can pull up the article, but we looked up before. So China right now, this year is going to be about 40 billion this
In
year
revenues.
in revenue in the gaming market. To put that in perspective, the US gaming market in 2024 is projected to be about 60. So, China's definitely catching up in terms of overall size. And the size in terms of the overall gamers is pretty much double the US population.
Yeah.
So it was like plus 20 billion US dollars if you recount it from yuan, and it's increase of 2.08% with stable growth, and the number of users were 674 million.
Yeah.
A slight increase, like
Slight increase, but setting a new record, basically.
Yeah. So you can see the charts here. It's just giant.
It is.
Yeah. What's there?
Let's go through the categories. If you scroll down, you see highlight like which categories the Chinese gaming market mainly consists of. I believe the biggest one was strategy.
Oh yeah,
Go
no
down
shit,
again.
Sherlock. Everybody said basically who we discussed anything with, like they know how to do forex games. And we kind of figured that out.
Yeah, strategy still accounts for the highest portion, 32.
SLG, which means forex. Basically.
By the way, they call it SLG in China.
Yeah,
it's different, not forex. Role playing accounts for 10% something, a significant year or in decline actually. Shooting, which previously accounted for relatively high portion, or fell to 7.6%, and leisure,
which is casual, I guess. No,
I guess it means casual, falling to 3.9%. You don't really see casual games in China that much.
Not yet, at least.
Yeah, the revenue above the two categories of the project dropped significantly.
So the interesting thing is like the gaming market is very split differently compared to the West as well, because nearly 75% of the market is just mobile games, right? So it's even more heavily slid, weighted towards mobile games than in the West. Yeah.
If I get
skewed
it right,
was the
skewed
word
was the word.
Sorry,
I've been on a hell of a journey from China.
the proportion of client games, which I guess means PC games in this article, it's 22.9%, and web games continues to shrink, accounting for 1.59%.
I think this goes back to the discussion we had about like why are Europe and the US good in casual games versus China and South Korea basically good, or kind of more complex players, or players looking for more complex games are just forex RPGs or MOBAs because of the history, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much like where these gamers were starting their childhood games and what were the kind of traditions there.
That brings us maybe to mini games. Can we do a little intro what WeChat mini games are, and then basically just show a bit of what we saw, because I think that's what amazed me the most, right? Because
Stop.
Which one here?
Yes, this is the 3 years of the mini games. Yeah.
So 16.6 billion yuan, which is
like
I can
divided by 8, I guess. Anyway, it was kind of growing in the last 3 years.
2.3, let's say, billion.
2.3 billion.
2.2 billion.
Which is up by 60%.
Yeah.
So WeChat mini games are fucking growing.
So WeChat mini games, for those who don't know, is basically games that you download inside of WeChat. So it's not an app.
No download.
Yeah.
No download. Just play.
You click from the Douyin ad, which is their version of TikTok.
Yeah, and that reminds me good old HTML5 or instant games, which kind of they don't really work in the West.
Yeah.
But me and Rima were discussing this, like, so the reason it didn't really work in the West was the 50 megabyte download limit, right? Like they couldn't be bigger than 50 megabytes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember the like good old days when these like instant games or HTML5 games started on Facebook, and it was just like hyper casual games there.
Yeah, because you cannot build anything more than 50 megs, so what can you build,
True.
Some hyper casual bullshit.
Yeah. Hey, come on.
Hey.
She's like, well, what happened? Why are you so
rude?
Rude, yeah.
I was there back then, man. You know how hard it was to do these things because there was no discovery, nothing. Like hyper casual was much more advanced than under the name of hyper casual back in 2017.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you show a minigame? We can show the viewers where it actually is.
Minigame in this is absolutely not the minigame. Like there is Whiteout Survival, which is a zero minigame. It's exactly the same game as you can download on iPhone or Android. It's the same fucking thing.
They just call it minigame because I don't know why mini, but it's definitely not mini.
Yeah. So basically on left side of the screen you see a game that's reminding us of VR Warriors.
Yeah, but this is a goose?
Yeah, it's a goose. I don't know, some Chinese version.
It's exactly the same game, but you just change the characters.
Yeah.
I'm going to send this to Samer tomorrow and be like, yo, look what's going on in China.
Yeah, by the way, there is a clone.
Yeah. And then on the right side, there's basically how it looks as Whiteout Survival, which is pretty much the same game. Like
it's exactly the same game, it's just in Chinese.
Full 3D animation, everything.
So, do you know how is this possible? Because in China, the technology is not the problem.
Yeah, as we learned.
It was one of our favorite quotes that we learned.
Yeah, that's the answer. Like, oh my God. And then if you think about it, it's kind of true.
Yeah.
No, but you're actually, you download or like kind of get the first 50 and then you play the game and then you download on the background the next 600 megabytes or whatever was it.
Yeah. So
also, look, it was kind of, we thought at least in the past that you don't need ISBN, which is the license in China to actually publish a game. But we found out that you need actually one.
If you want to make IP revenue. If you don't want to make IP revenue, meaning that the game is completely ad-driven, you don't need ISBN, meaning the registry number from Chinese Ministry for Games.
Also, interesting gray area, which is if you don't have one, you can rent one.
Which is a gray area.
Which is absolutely very, very, very gray area. But like if you don't get caught, then you're fine. Which you absolutely will get caught and at some point because it's a nice way how to destroy your competitors.
Exactly. So you could claim that if you have an ISBN, which generally takes a year to apply for and get, which you can get, but it will take a year. But essentially, if you rent it out to a friend, a family, a comrade, anything, basically, then essentially, if you do an update and you just claim it's a normal game update, completely different game, then it's kind of within the rules of law, so it's within a gray area. But then if that game starts making money and a competitor gets angry, they usually just tell on you. So then you have to battle it out with the states.
You can get a pretty big problem, but
Yeah.
Well, you need to do what you need to do, I guess.
So basically, TLDR, if people think that these are just random mini games or equivalents of hyper casuals from 2020, it's definitely not. Those are pretty much fully fledged games. Same
like the
thing.
entire App Store, like all the sizes.
Yeah.
It's just that it works on a way that you need to download something instant, which is within the 50 megs kind of instant package, and then it downloads the rest. You see, as I was playing it, it was also loading. There was a loading bar a little bit for those who caught it. So the game is just very, very optimized. Let's call it that
How
way.
can you play these mini games? Well, you can't if you don't have the Chinese version of WeChat.
You cannot see the charts if you don't have the Chinese version of the WeChat.
Yes, you can only when someone links it to you.
Yeah.
Which is, again, Can't. Obviously,
maybe if you had Douyin, the Chinese TikTok, and you get an ad for it, you could also
but you
play.
need, well, so you need to have a Chinese VPN in order to work all this.
I'm not using VPN. This is normal.
You are not using, but for different things to have there, like the whole mini games, the rankings, and everything, and Douyin, basically, you need to be in China. Yes, I just had a discussion today with some of our new friends on the podcast.
Okay, so maybe it's not
on WeChat. So it's not that easy. So our publishing activities in China, I will need to have some workarounds. Let's call it that way. But I'm on top of it. Don't worry.
What else can we say about these mini games and China's, how can I put it, a bit more porous way of dealing with data and how metrics are shared with everyone in the industry? Because I think that was struck me the most, because pretty much what everyone said that was, like high up in a gaming company that we spoke to, and it was quite a lot, is that everyone knows this data. Everyone knows the CPIs, the retention, like
the ROI,
ROI, ROAS, so everything.
Yeah, during the discussion, our friend, like, she just pulled the screen. She's like, "Hey, are these your numbers?" Like, yeah, pretty much. So it's quite interesting.
Basically, like, from my understanding at least, was that the account managers that work at the advertising networks in China are a bit more liberal with what they share than what they do in the West. So, yeah, everyone knows everyone's data.
Yeah, in like few hours, basically. Few hours.
Yeah.
Which kind of is interesting, because then... also, there are like few channels that you can see and get the actual the latest rankings, and there are also WeChat groups where you can get like tens of articles like these that we were just quoting from the numbers, from like which games are just released, basically everything, which gives you very big advantage in terms of what's working, what's not working, what's published, what's not published. And also I was reading like few interesting case studies about like combination of different genres, how and what is trending now. So it's an absolutely amazing source of knowledge.
And also what struck me is like the pace which everything is done in China is really quick. And then one CMO we were talking to, such an insightful conversation, he was basically complaining how the velocity of doing anything in the West is slow. And I was like, what do you mean with that? And he's just like, well, it's like, IAPs I get in 30 days, and then like advertising revenue, 30 days, 40 days, 60 days, everything is net 60. I'm like, what do you mean? How does it work in China? And it's like, day one, but you get it all paid out in UA credits.
Yes. Oh, so yeah. So if there is an interesting trending and game on the WeChat mini games, and WeChat kind of sees this, then it can support this game with 400k UA budget instantly. And then basically after you get the revenue, what the Felix mentioned, you need to get the revenue. Well, you need to wait for that revenue, invest like for 30 days. Here, just one click and it's immediately transferred to your UA account and you can spend it. I mean,
it makes so much sense.
It's
like,
brilliant.
Wow.
Like, it removes all the bureaucracy immediately.
Yeah.
And just chances for growing and just spending that money immediately. It's like, that gives you such a big edge.
I've heard of some mediation providers doing similar stuff, like paying upfront for estimated revenues and stuff like that. But it's still like you need a lot of data before that's possible. And then it's like, a lot of deal making and it's not like a press of a button. It's quite cool. Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, what do you have here?
Yeah, Remia is showing a slideshow of what?
Facebook.
Yeah, that's pretty much our tour as we are going. I guess we're going. This is the Meta event. We were there. Pretty big one. But they had also English translator in your ears machines,
which wasn't working for me, but it was working for you.
Okay for me. So
yeah.
That was nice.
That's all that matters, Matej.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Also,
exactly.
the Meta executive dinner.
Oh man, we're not going to show all the pictures and videos. It's not going to be pictures of our whole holiday.
Wait. I was on a holiday.
It was not a holiday, man.
Maybe for you, but for me, I was working like since I landed.
Few other interesting pictures that you see here is pretty much there's giant interest in China that people want to know more about Western games actually, especially Monopoly Go, as you see here on the slide, where it was saying like how Monopoly Go is pretty much taking a firm hold in the Western market.
Whatever this is.
Here.
I translated these for you, man. You should have them in WhatsApp.
Yep, this is the translated one. So it's there. Monopoly Go completing game of film food hold and lead the best-selling list in the. Yeah,
false. Yeah, it's good.
As bad as this gets, let's say. Overseas regional competitive metrics of China mobile games in 2023. MiHoYo continues strong performance and the point increased by 180%, I guess.
Yeah, there was also the Century Games. You just translated quite good.
Translated shitty, but what basically this means that you see the biggest kind of players from China in the Western market being MiHoYo, Century Games, AFK Arena, and Tencent. Well,
how much of that Tencent is Supercell, though, you think?
Yeah.
It's counted here, I don't think so. I would consider this just maybe Chinese games from Tencent. Don't know. Yeah, there's a few more slides there, which is the trend of Japan, mobile top games, which is still Monster Strike, and Umamusume Pretty Derby being the second one, which we can't wait to review as it gets to the West.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to talk about Horse Girls.
The situation in China's overseas headquarters in some other countries such as US, Japan, and Korea, where you see Whiteout Survival being top in US, Legend of Mushroom being top in Japan and Korea.
And Korea as well.
And the last thing is Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan.
That was the interesting
mysterious region.
Mysterious region.
But typical entrance here, you see 37 games, 4Xs, Japan being dominated by MiHoYo, so Honkai Genshin and Goddess Nike, and Whiteout Survival being in Korea.
Remia, let me pause you right there. And from this whole trip, what was the thing that shocked you the most or impressed you the most?
Shocked me the most, it definitely impressed me the whole QR code nature of everything. We didn't see any cash, literally.
Yeah, absolutely. Zero
ever.
Zero money. Yeah.
No banknotes, nothing. Everything is done with QR codes. Every fucking thing.
Yeah.
Everything.
Except for the banknotes that you made me get out because basically it was to be on the safe side. And then I had to exchange them back and I lost 80 euros in the exchange rate.
It was 8 euros.
Yes, not 80, 8. Exactly. Come on, man.
But it's super convenient. I must say that it's super convenient. It's super convenient to, pay for parking ticket right at the entrance with just scanning the QR code, click, that's it. No machine, whatever, cards, nothing. You just walk in, everything's kind of automated. That was really surprising. And
surprising, what was surprising? People working 20 hours a day.
Oh yeah. We were going to a restaurant at something between 8 to 9 p.m. and there's so many people in the streets. What's happening? People are going
back from home.
From work.
Yeah.
What?
People really work 996. It's not a myth. It's
it is. Yeah, it's really like that.
Yeah. But they start at 10. Keep in mind that
10-9. 10-9.
10-9. It's not like that.
10-9-6.
Yeah. So it's there. We talk about this one.
This is the same one, yeah.
And we talk about this one. Yeah. There we go. So we can continue here.
Perfect.
Yeah, a few photos of the actual expo. So the thing we got is, let's say, the knowledge we got is that it's actually shrinking because
the ChinaJoy.
The ChinaJoy conference is shrinking. The China gaming market is growing at 2% compounded.
Expo area. Let's say Expo area is shrinking because the business, they're actually
B2B and B2C.
4 and 4. There were 13 halls. B2B used to have 5 halls. It only had 2 halls now. Consumer area was also only 4 halls, and then 4 more halls, which was consumer, I don't know even how to call it, like stuff like computers, hardware, and like something. It was
Mouse.
not like the direct
figurines.
And
cars.
Razer as a brand, and whatever else, LG, Sony, all these.
Even cars. But I would say
cars,
the size of it. It was something like 20% smaller than Gamescom, but still very massive.
How the fuck you counted 20%? Like how that number just
pop up in my head?
Yeah, it's like
my bullshit meter's going off.
Yeah.
I estimated it's about 16% smaller than last year.
No, it's 17.82%.
Hey. I'm the exact number guy. Can you take my gimmick?
Yeah, let's continue.
Sorry.
So this is how it actually looks like, pretty much very similar to business area at Gamescom. You just walk around a lot of stands. That's Grumpy, Matej, and Felix trying to get food. They didn't get breakfast.
Just please,
Matej with little sleep
start.
and no food, huh? Jeez.
Don't even start.
I'm not gonna, because I know what happens. I'm not starting anything.
Let's skip this part.
Okay, nobody cares about this part, but if you care, please ask on in our Slack channel. I will gladly tell you what happened.
Ask Matej what he thinks about Prussia.
I don't give a fuck about Prussia.
So that was the usual suspects in the business area. Like you could see, just like whatever
Expo,
a lot of payment companies this year.
Payment companies, definitely. A lot of these, like I don't even know what those, like technology companies, SaaS, I would guess. So
I would guess.
A lot of these, I don't even know.
Can we get to the singing lion, please? The singing Mongolian lion.
No, wait. This is just like this is still business area.
It is still business. VKS,
yeah.
Yeah, where we go. This is the living business area. Yeah, and this is the actual consumer area. So it was super packed. I had to say it's definitely more packed than it's usually at Gamescom.
Because it's 20% of the size of Gamescom.
20%, yeah.
Maybe we just don't go over the weekends. So we go new.
That's what I would say. Like, and also at the Gamescom, we usually do what, like the business day, the media day.
Media.
They don't have a media day, so you can cheat with being a developer going into the expo where consumers are not there. You can these things.
Which is on Friday. I think like on Saturday it was even more.
There's like a lot. The thing was, I would say, pretty good. Like some very interesting stuff. Yeah, this is one of the more interesting stuff we saw.
Please, where's the sound?
We need the sound. We need the sound. Stop.
Just wanted to show like how it actually looks, and then we can get the actual.
The sound button's right down there.
Where?
I need to share with the sound. Look,
I need to share with the sound. Exactly.
Dear listeners, this was the biggest what the fuck moment in my life, I think.
And we actually found the video on Bilibili,
which is their YouTube, but not really.
Chinese version of YouTube, but not really. Yeah, where there's this. Is this the full?
We found out this is the very famous singer,
Mongolian singer.
Yeah, exactly, and he was literally singing something Hakuna Matata Jungle, and it's actually a 4X game.
Whoever is listening, please, you just go to YouTube just to have a what the fuck moment as we had, because this is a 4X game.
Yeah,
this is a 4X game with animals, and
so I've had time to digest this. So basically, it's a 4X game that came out, and they used this guy, dressed him up in jungle attire, and then they had a bunch of people dancing, singing this song, and it was amazing.
And also we saw a lot of Chinese ladies dancing on the stage, because that's how it's done in China.
I would say it's like Asian traditional expo, basically. You don't see these things on games anymore.
Wait. Was the best part.
Yeah,
he's like I looked him up. I think he's like a Tom Jones of China.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like a Tom Jones of China. Very famous older gentleman. Yes.
Okay.
So this would, if you pause that, like, so this would be the same if Tom Jones was singing for the launch of Monopoly Go.
Oh no, Monopoly Go.
This was the same as Tom Jones would be singing for the launch of Squadbusters, I would say.
Oh, not even Squadbusters. I would say think like a Total Battle instead, because it's Forex. So
yeah, it's Forex, yeah.
Total Battle, because that's what it is.
Back to the venue.
Oh,
well, you could also have the dancing girls on in it, basically.
Yeah.
Moving on. Lots of these like super high production booths there. This was Azurline, one of my favorites. Blizzard was there because finally Blizzard reunited with NetEase.
Yeah.
So
after 6 months of not being apart,
now
6 months of not being able to publish games. So now's everything good there. Lots of kind of usual Chinese friends were there, or IPs. This was like very interesting, where there's like one lady on one side screaming, and then across the street there was a Hearthstone lady opening gacha packs,
and then some people standing with signs.
Yeah, some people standing with signs.
So you don't have only signs, but you have people with signs.
Yeah.
Also, you know what was interesting? I'm not sure if you have it there, but the ladies versus ladies Valorant match.
Counter-Strike. Valorant.
Valorant.
Yeah,
what is Valorant? So it was like 5v5 or 4v4. I don't know.
There was like it's pretty much like esports kind of championships were played in the background of the event,
it's super cool. Like zero emotions, like absolute poker faces.
They were super focused, man. That's what.
Yeah, of course. I saw that pretty much.
Yeah. But the expo was like very, very nice, I would say.
You looked like a child in the Disneyland.
Yeah, pretty much. I just laugh with these gaming expos. They're like so good.
Oh, it's great.
You see,
it's great
this
this
was Dungeon and Fighter. I think I have a better photo somewhere. Yeah, this was the Valorant.
2%.
This was the Supercell stand actually.
Squadbusters.
Giant line. They follow the same setup, these booths, as the ones on Gamescom. That you have like giant lines, and if you get there, you get to play the game or something, do something actually for like 10 minutes, and then they give you merch or some reward.
So I found the plush cat there at the China Construction Bank. So I wanted to have it, and they said, "Oh, we can't because you're a foreigner, so we can't give it to you."
Yeah. He's not lying. You are
my heart. Bro, I mean, yes.
Yeah, for those who wonder like how Dungeon and Fighter looks, this is how it looks. This is the game.
Where do you have the 15 skills on the right hand side that you need to?
This is main menu.
Yeah. They were playing. Oh, by the way, there was the taxi driver.
Yeah, the taxi driver. That was like surreal.
Tesla. Yeah.
We went into a taxi. By the way, everything's electric. Like 50% of cars are electric. Like you couldn't even hear cars, or the motorcycles are just like super silent because they're all electric. And we got into this taxi, and then the guy literally had his tablet, which had the old version of Dungeon and Fighter on autoplay, and it was just like giant clusterfuck of numbers and particle effects.
Also, there was a Tesla, and it was just like I don't know, like what's like all the figurines everywhere, they're just glued onto the.
You had like figurine shrines in the front seat.
It's like I was like, what's happening? So what's happening?
Yeah, that was pretty surreal. But yeah, Dungeon and Fighter is like super strong. They had giant presses there. We heard that it made even more money than the one that you see being officially said. And I think, can't wait until we actually
way more
in the West, because
like here's a rule of thumb for any of you listeners. Whenever you hear any Western outlet say anything about any game making anything in China, just at least double it. Like at least
or
32x it. Like it's just nowhere near what you think. It's just so much bigger.
So that's what we heard.
Yeah, continuing on the expo. Yeah, we've seen also some like very interesting kind of clones like this.
Armored of Doom.
Yeah. You know, like it was explained on WeChat minigames or in China, like the games have, terrible names, which is, or not terrible names, are very basic names, and sometimes it's really not able to translate this to English.
Yeah. So you end up with Armored of Doom.
Armored of was like,
doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, how does that make sense? It's like, World of Tanks, basically.
Yeah. But as I said, like the expo was very, very good. So that was super nice. Some like this is AFK Journey stand, like super high.
Oh yeah,
product.
we're waiting for the Lilith party to get in, but it's like an hour long queue.
Our line, which we didn't get into.
It's like, let's go.
This is Pal World for those who don't remember. So they also have a pretty big presence, big booth there. Also, we saw the Helldivers one.
And no one wanted to go to the Ubisoft stand. The only one that didn't have a line.
That was very, very sad.
So sad. Oh my god.
They were asking us to come in. It's the only one
like
that
all
was
the stands.
anti-lines. It was
yeah. Like nobody was there. Nobody.
All the stands are giant lots, and there was literally a lady asking us to go to this one.
I'm in a play in Ubisoft.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
This was amazing statue of Helldivers. There was PlayStation area, I think. Yeah. This is all people queuing for like PlayStation games. And then I think
when did you take all these pictures, man?
See, like you were just going like grumpy old grandmother.
I mean, I'm not insulting you, so fuck off. I'm just asking a simple question.
It was pretty much. By the way, there's gachas everywhere. I think this
physical gachas.
Yeah, Felix photobombing my gacha documentation.
Oh man, whoever that guy is, he's so funny.
Yeah, so keep in mind. So these were the gacha machines for cash, and later down the line, show you also gacha machines for QR codes actually. So
you saw cash.
Yeah, there was also like this like merch area, which is not about like you buying the merch, but companies making the merch and presenting it themselves.
Yeah, too bad we didn't really meet Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Because Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were there actually in Shanghai promoting the movie.
Taking picture next to our Shangri-La hotel, like on that like
one of the roofs.
One of the roofs that we are just walking by.
Yeah.
Well, next time.
Next time.
Should we just end it there? I think.
By the way, these YouTubers, there was also some.
It's Billy Billiers. It's Billy Billiers. You don't have YouTubes.
Yeah, they're pretty much girls standing in front of like mobile phone stands, and you could just see the streams. It's like so surreal if you see like many of them at one spot.
Yeah. Dressed the same.
Yeah, it's my figurines.
We don't need to see your figurines.
These are the QR code gachas.
Did
you see like the items in it, and you go by QR code, pay them by QR codes. And this was the actual like outside of the expo, where you could see like the halls are pretty much massive, and it would go into this like triangle basically, and all of them are just like full of people.
I'd say the food was better than Gamescom for sure.
Oh
yeah.
I mean,
by the way, this was an interesting thing that we got shown, where there was a mini.
It's a live game. It's a live game where people.
On
live game on Douyin, where people here, it's pretty much like people are buying soldiers for either blue side or red side, and you see it live as they're battling, basically.
And there is also like a guy in the background, kind of telling them, or just kind of, not telling them what to do, but encouraging them.
Yeah, like a game master, pretty much.
Yeah.
And if you ask how many people are watching, this is like 23 people we got told. So,
which is not a lot, but apparently there's like thousands of these games actually live at the same time.
So this could be like one of the new waves coming in.
But, which is already kind of man. Like we could see this on TikTok or whatever you mentioned also on Twitch. The whole Twitch was playing Pokemon.
Yeah, but you cannot paint these things and make them like a actual.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because more this was concept. This is happening there already.
Yeah, but you didn't say that. This is actually like paying to the game master or whoever has
whoever runs the
stream,
host the game.
Host the game. Like you're paying him. Yeah. So you battle against the other opponents. Yeah, one side versus the other.
Yeah, we'll see. It's pretty much chat games. So it looks pretty polished. I think this is the last one.
It's very good. Very good
picture.
of Shanghai skyline.
What impressed you the most, Matej?
I think the dinner we had with Stan from Tap for Fun and the guys from Legend of Mushroom and Heaven, obviously from Century Games.
Yeah, we got shown some of the games.
Legend of Mushroom guys, the joined games are coming up with few new games, and oh my god, that's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, they're definitely not a one-trick pony. Yeah.
yeah, they know what they're doing. I think that was the best discussion we had with Stan, like about the dopamine and then the
how creatives works basically,
and how creative works,
like the onboarding works, and like they have very, very different like paradigm mindset how to approach these things compared to Western mindset, I would say.
Oh yeah.
So that was very interesting discussion, and they're just like, yeah,
they have a lot of people in their creative teams.
Everybody has a ton of creative people.
And the thing that
hundreds,
they create all these, like, produce all these creatives in their own engine rather than just After Effects, Unreal Engine. Yeah, it's all okay, Unreal, but that kind of gives you interesting information about like where the creative production is going right away, and you can see it with.
But that's the thing, man.
Like, Match, right?
Because I don't think so. They consider creative people to be only new artists and shit. Because in order to do these things, you literally need programmers and stuff to like maintain the Unreal simulation for the creators.
We had the discussion with the Sons of Lady. She also said, look, like in China, UA and creative person is the most earning position. It's like
most best paid position.
Best paid position in China, because
in
like
the
super important
game industry chain.
In the game industry China. So if you're a UA in China, like, you're fucking god, basically. It's like, but it's
true. What you moving to China?
Yeah. Already filled the papers. Yeah. No, like that was just like, because like it's so true. It's so true. When I started working with Century Games on the creative side, like then I asked like, okay, so how many creatives you already, or different concepts you already had? You can think about all of them, exactly. It's like, hey, can I like Playrix buying like all the impressions like on Facebook? Hey, can I get some impressions? How many? All of them. So this is exactly the same thing with creatives. They had like 500 different concepts already, like with like so many variations. So that was just like, this is how it is in China and the UA and the creatives. It's just like, man, can't even compete.
I guess the only thing they can't do in China is puzzle games.
Or speak English.
They can, I guess, like, but they're still learning because of the genres kind of origins we talk about. That they're primarily RPG, strategy, MMORPG kind of grew up with, so therefore they have much more expertise in that.
And also they know the players a little bit better. We try to explain like how people in the West are not used to anything which is more complex. Because if it's more complex, they will just churn immediately.
I think the other thing that like needs to be said really is that people in the West, when they complain that they get copied or like that somebody's copied, they're like this is like a completely different level in China. Like, by talking to people there, I think people don't understand how hard it is actually for Chinese people or Chinese companies to make it in China.
It's
much harder than overall Western market.
Yeah,
because imagine that people are copying your games on velocity of hyper casual games, but those are actually mid-core games being produced at the same speed.
Yeah, the thing is that you launch a game in 2 hours, big companies have your numbers, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, and they're sending their teams to code in another third hour.
Yeah, and then like in 1
month, a month they have the prototype.
Easy as that. Like, you can't even see this in West at all.
Yeah, like we could see it pretty much like, again, we're talking all the time about the Christmas prophecy of Doodle Magic. Like, we've seen so many iterations on Doodle Magic during the trip, like many.
And already plus ones.
Already plus ones, not the copies.
Not copies.
And here in the West, there's like nothing still.
Yeah.
Like no Western studio ever did like proper, really kind of scaled Doodle Magic game.
It's 6 months or 7 months from our Doodle Magic episode.
Yeah.
And now in China, it's already like 20 games like Doodle Magic.
And plus one, they already passed the basic
and then
core.
Another like 10 more with the new iteration, which I played on WeChat. It's even like, fuck, like this is gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. Already some of the games are in soft launch in like West a little bit, and making in soft launch 30K per day, just IIPs. So we're going to talk about it in the future, don't worry.
Yeah, I was also going to hopefully be able to get one of our friends that we made in China, which specializes in kind of talking about WeChat minigames to get
and
in
research
the
and all of the he runs the group,
few of the channels,
the rankings and everything. So he said yes, so should be fine. Love it.
And on that note, wow, thank you, China, for having us. It was an absolute pleasure. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, absolutely coming back. Thanks for all the insights. And also, the listeners, thank you very much for coming and kind of listening to this episode or watching it as well. Please join our Slack channel. Also, I guess see you next time. Yeah, don't forget. Yeah, don't forget to share the episode.
See you in the Slack.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, also subscribe on the YouTube.
Subliminal message.
Yeah. Ciao.
Yeah.